Yeah, well, my name is Bianca. I'm based in London, Bird and Bird. Well, my accent is not British. I'm not British. I'm from Austria. So please excuse any language errors, anything like this. Excuse when I try to be funny, but I'm just not funny in English. But I swear, I'm super, super funny in German. So for those of you who speak German, talk to me and you will have the time of your life. Yes. So I'd like, oh, but that was so fast. So I'd like, before I start, I'd like to give you a bit of an overview of our alumni program at Bird and Bird. Well, we include our current and former employees, so which is also a bit of the title or the title of this speech today. We include both current and former employees, now having more than 3,500 members on our alumni portal, and additional to that, we have a LinkedIn group which we actually only use to support our portal activities in terms of content and everything. So we launched our program in 2018, so 6 years ago. And to basically get started, I'd like to introduce you to our DNA. So this is the DNA we launched last year in September. Well, of course, it has been with the firm over many, many more years than you can imagine. But this DNA is such an essential part of our culture at Bird and Bird. So we have 5 pillars. We identify ourselves as truly collegiate, super curious, big on trust, full of respect, and always evolving. So these 5 pillars span across all our offices from Shanghai in the east, covering Europe, Middle East, forgot Australia, sorry, to San Francisco in the west. And well, of course, this applies for our firm, for our current colleagues. So we all have our DNA, or at least several pillars in us. But what does it actually mean for our alumni? So I'd like to give you some examples comparing current employees and our alumni when it comes to our DNA. Let's just start with the first one. So we're truly collegiate. At Bird and Bird, we identify ourselves as truly collegiate. We're working across several offices across the world, working together, celebrating success, overcoming challenges, what law firms do on a daily basis. What does it mean for our alumni, or how do we identify that our alumni are truly collegiate when it comes to having a relationship with Bird and Bird? So basically, it's all about collaboration. So collaborating with our alumni on, for example, pro bono projects or some sort of charity, corporate social responsibility activities. We make them feel that we are still one firm, we are still one culture together. And this, of course, can also be when we're working together with our alumni. Not to mention that we have so many alumni joining our clients. We're still working together with them, so very truly collegiate. And I think one of my favorite pillars is actually big on trust, which I'd like to give you some examples. We're big on trust. Our current colleagues, we're big on trust that they take responsibility, they work flexibly, etc. But when it comes to our alumni, we are big on trust. Well, we are trusting them on one side to be leaders in their industry they're working at. So those alumni who decide to join in-house positions, we are trusting them to be a leader in whatever industry they join. So we're trusting them to have the knowledge, they have the skills, they have the market overview, which of course helps us as well. We can benefit from this knowledge, from this trust, to help us, telling us, oh, what are the challenges in this specific market? What are the trends? What impact does AI have, for example, in this sector? So we're big on trust, trusting their knowledge, skills. But also, I'd like to share one of my favorite examples, actually, and it always makes me smile. So brought a quote with me. This quote is from Hanneke. Hanneke is one of our Dutch alumni, and basically, to give you a bit of background information, what happened to Hanneke? Well, Hanneke left our firm to found her own law firm. Crazy. This is so cool. So she specialized in life science and healthcare. And you can imagine when you found your own law firm, Emma, you can probably tell us it can be so challenging. Starting from administrative challenges to where do I get actually my clients from? Wow. So what happened to her, or what she did, is taking advantage of the alumni program. Trusting our alumni program, or trusting those alumni from the Bird and Bird alumni program who went through the same. So who left the firm to found their own firm, either like a law firm or whatever other firm they wanted to found. So basically, with this support from the law, from her alumni colleagues, they did not only help her on administrative challenges, for example, but what they did is that they referred clients to her. So they were so big on trusting Hanneke, trusting her legal skills, trusting her personal skills, trusting her in general, that they were like, oh, I'm feeling confident enough when I tell my client, well, you have a legal issue in the life science industry, in the life science sector, go see Hanneke. She's amazing. She will do such a good job. She will help you. So very, very big on trust. Well, yeah, you can see that sharing a culture keeps the people together. It keeps our people, our current employees together with our alumni. This common culture bonds the people, but it also keeps them interesting, I believe, in engaging with your firm, engaging with the program, maybe even engaging with yourself. So at least engaging with the right people. And I think this just shows us how important it is not to differentiate a culture within a firm. I know some people believe that there's like a firm culture and then there's like an alumni culture, but I believe personally, or that's what we believe at Bird and Bird, that there should be one firm and one culture. And I really like the insight we heard earlier about branding your culture, because that's also what we do at Bird and Bird. One firm, one culture, I said. At Bird and Bird, our official slogan is actually one firm, your firm. So you're one of our alumni, and you will still be you will still hear about one firm, your firm, making you or giving you the sense of, I'm still part of it. I'm still part of this culture, of this community, of this firm, even though I left and maybe joined a competitor or did something completely different, nothing related to law. So again, here, I think this is another aspect of how important it actually can be, or how helpful it can be to really brand your culture and branding it for outside your firm. After I gave you a bit of an overview now, you can imagine that our culture does not only help us to engage with our alumni, to engage with our alumni, but it also actually helps us in reaching our company objectives when it comes to alumni and culture. So those points I'd like to present to you now. We've heard them several times actually today, but I think it's quite nice to hear it from a cultural perspective and what it can mean actually. So first of all, I think we all want to have a very strong professional network for our firm. We want to have a network, well, for us, for example, for our lawyers, for our partners, they can come back to, again, here we have the industry insights, or if they need, a speaker for our next panel discussion on tech and AI, for example, and law. So having this great professional network can be really, really helpful. And also, for example, the case with Hanneke I just mentioned here. It can all be about the culture when it comes to the professional network. The second one is about reputation and brand ambassadors. So another way we can benefit from our alumni, including them in our firm's culture, or actually mixing both together, is a positive representation. So again, here we have a bit of branding our culture, having great brand ambassadors who help us, well, especially those who truly still embody our firm's culture, bringing it outside, transporting a message of, it was so amazing working at Bird and Bird, and you say that because you still feel like part of its culture. So especially in as you can imagine, a very competitive legal landscape nowadays, it also helps us with these brand ambassadors to actually attract potential candidates. So not only candidates, but of course, everything which is about business. And if you saw earlier, my title is actually business developer or business development coordinator. I'm sitting in the BD, but I'm focusing on all some sorts of area what touch base with alumni, from marketing to events, HR, everything. But of course, business development is a very important point for us, and how we can benefit from including the alumni into our culture when it comes to business. Of course, probably the same for you. Some of your alumni, they join an in-house position. Some, well, at clients we're already working with for a couple of decades, maybe even. Some they join companies we've never worked with before. But in any case, those alumni, well, in both cases actually, alumni who really truly embody our culture and are some sort of brand ambassadors, they will help us still acting as one firm, your firm, kind of like this slogan, to help us in terms of business. So referring us clients, getting in, like helping us or introducing us to the right people we need to know, maybe head of legal, for example, or at least the decision makers behind all that. So really another important company objective we're following with our cultural approach. And I think, and this is probably also one of my favorite part about alumni programs. I'd like you to introduce you to Natasha, who's our UK finance director based in London. And this is Wilfried. He's a partner in our Hong Kong office. You see a returning home interview. Those are some of our, well, more than 100 boomerangs. Well, 2023, we had more than 100 boomerangs, which is approximately 10% of our general global hires. Always working to increase that number, of course. Natasha and Wilfried. Lovely stories. Let me give you a bit of background information. Natasha started in our London office as a junior accountant, left the firm, came back as a senior accountant, left the firm, came back as UK finance director. Amazing. Wilfried left the firm as an associate, joined one of our biggest clients, or today biggest clients, came back as a partner. So I would like you to think again of the 5 pillars I presented to you earlier. And you can clearly see here that Natasha and Wilfried both really embodied, for example, we are always evolving. Both boomerangs here, Natasha and Wilfried, they were really future focused. They wanted to progress their career. That's why they left. But they saw the opportunity because they want to progress their career, as I said. Come back to the firm, taking up the opportunity, becoming UK finance director and partner. And also truly collegiate. Well, truly collegiate because for both, it was a case that they really missed the firm because of the people. And I brought some quotes with me from, well, just 4, felt sorry for the others I couldn't include, but it's not a reading lesson today. However, Oliver, I highlighted the most important words here, which in a nutshell is people. It's people and culture. It's people and culture. It's culture. So whether it's Oliver from Germany, whether it's Nilo from Helsinki, Amy and Natasha from London, number one reason why they decided to rejoin basically was because about the culture and about the people. They knew what to expect from the firm. They knew what they were getting back to. So I think this is just super important. Maybe also some sort of key message for you to take home with how important it actually is to know why your people are coming back. Is it because of the culture and the people? Is it because of the salary? Is it because of the free iced latte? I don't know, can have several reasons, but I think as a firm, we're very proud that it's about the people and the culture. So, and yeah, I think also when you're focusing on keeping your alumni not only connected with your program or with your firm, but also with your culture, it makes such a difference also on a personal level. Of course, a firm or work related, yeah, it's always about work. But what about the personal level here? So culture is always like on a very different base. So really it's about the people. And when you're feeling part of a firm's culture, your alumni will definitely more delighted to attend your next event, to read your newsletter, to share their thoughts on the alumni interview you just posted on the portal, or any kind of activities of engagement you're having with your alumni. So this list is of course way longer, but what I want to say is that you can't force your alumni to engage with you or your program, your content, etc., if you're not giving them at least a chance to stay connected with your culture. And I know, of course, every company has a different culture, but I think this is definitely something you should consider, when it comes about the alumni. This all sounds, in a perfect world, in theory, so easy, right? Well, to give it more of an idea how it can be in real life, let's just imagine a bit of a typical employee cycle. So we're having the candidate gets an offer, nice. So this should be definitely the moment where you are inviting this person, the candidate, to join your alumni program, actually. And I know this might sound silly to some of you, but I think in order to create this culture and to shape this sense of community, this is definitely something you could consider. And also, thinking back of our 5 pillars, we are big on trust. So some of you might say, oh, this person didn't even had one foot in the office. Well, now they can exchange with alumni who might not have the best memories of our time at the firm. Well, it's about being big on trust. It's showing to be big on trust, being trustful that the candidate will get a great way to connect and to talk with those people who already left the firm, who went through this stage already, who they can learn from. And also what I think on a professional level is very important, they can learn what potential career that it waits for them. So, for example, for our lawyers, we have alumni working at nearly every kind of big firm, small firm, so everywhere. And I think it's just very important, especially for aspiring young lawyers who are then able to see, oh my God, if I'm doing a good job, I could actually join this company, which is like my dream company. So be big on trust. And then the next stage of the cycle, finally the employee starts. Nice, it's nice to have you here. So what we usually do is that at that stage, when you didn't sign up for the portal for our program yet, you get a sign-up email. Nice. If you're still not convinced to join the portal because you're like, why are they talking about alumni? I just joined. Do they want to kick me out? This is actually true that some people think that. So that's why I know you're laughing. But I can understand the people. So that's basically why we try to pick them up by having our alumni program being part of our induction training. A legal induction training, it takes years, but we'll make it even longer with our alumni program induction training. So why do we do that? Well, as I said, some people be like, do they want to get rid of me? No, that's not what we want to do. Of course not. It's the last thing we're thinking about. But we actually just want you to show what advantages you can get from our alumni program. It's not only about having an amazing network with amazing professionals, but depending on your position, if you're, for example, operating in HR, I want to tell you more about boomerangs. If you're working or if you're a lawyer or a partner, especially if you're a young lawyer, that's what they're very interested in usually. You know how easy it can be to get new clients. You have to connect with the right people. You have to connect with the right alumni. So take advantage of it. We don't want to get rid of you. So, well, then it comes to that point we have to say goodbye because you want to further your career. That's absolutely fine. We talked about offboarding before. And what I think is very, very important, or what we believe is very important, is to create during the exit interview a very safe environment. An environment where the leaver feels actually very comfortable, not like guilty of leaving like what we heard earlier. No, it's about a safe and comfortable environment. And make the alumni understand that it's not a goodbye forever, that there's the opportunity. Of course, this depends on how they leave the firm, but make them understand there can always be the opportunity to come back. We are always evolving, as one of the pillars said. So are you. I mean, you are future focused. That's why you want to leave the firm probably. You want to work on your career. You want to progress your career, and that's absolutely fine for us. But we are also full of respect. I can just quote, I can just keep quoting our 5 pillars: respecting your decision, respecting your responsible position, that you're not leaving because we ran out of coffee or something like this. So, but we also trust you in ongoing relationships. And I think it's all about the relationships, right? Or at least a very high amount is about relationships. So come back, be an alumni forever, or come back. But if you are an alumni, we want to make you feel part of the culture by making you feel part of a community and making you feel like they're actually thinking of me. I'm just not like a cash cow, for example, for them, but they still think about me in a really nice way, for example. And what we do is to make our alumni feel that way and make them appreciate it, is that whenever we have an alumni interview, that, well, as a little thank you, they don't receive flowers or chocolate, but what they receive is always a little very thoughtful gift to give you an idea, recently interviewed one of our UK alumni, and he told me the story that during a retreat at Bird and Bird in Berlin, they had, these old German cars. They did a rally through Berlin, and basically he told me that was one of his favorite moments at the firm. So I got him chocolate. I got him chocolate, but I got these cars made out of chocolate, like in a very tiny way. And he sent me an email saying, this has been one of the most thoughtful gifts he ever received. And he really said that he can't wait to come back for our next alumni party in London, 5th of September. And yeah, just like he also said, like, it really made him, remember all the good memories. And I think that's all about. It's about relations and memories. So that's how we do it at Bird and Bird. And then to finish because I no, that's absolutely fine. If you're leaving, if you're alumni, it's about the consistent communication. We talked about all that before, but I think show your alumni that your firm and your culture is always evolving. So this is the very last example I'm giving, and I'm so sorry. But show your alumni, and also what will probably help you to increase your boomerangs, show that your firm is evolving. So recently interviewed one of our boomerangs who's based in Dubai, and she left the firm about 7 or 8 years ago, rejoined 2 other law firms in Dubai in the meantime, and then she rejoined us last year in November. And I was like, why did you decide to rejoin the firm after such a long time? And she was like, well, thanks to the communication I received, also thanks to the alumni program, she actually saw first that the law firm is doing such great developments, seeing where the firm is today, which awards we won, for example, and so on and so on. But also because she saw, well, there's actually an opportunity to come back. So it's actually totally fine if I'm coming back. I don't need to be afraid, because I see so many people did that before me on what we're sharing on through the alumni channel. So to give the people an idea is absolutely fine. And yeah, sorry.